Eastern. So I hope I'm actually transmitilating. Let me just double check that on the left side of the screen. Not the screen, the left side of my desk where my computer is. Just one moment. Okay, yes, I see my hand moving. That is a very good sign. One should always see one's own hand moving. Alrighty, so here is our card for today. I have pulled out the Loveliest Tree stamp set and bundled dies. I realized the other day that I had not used this in quite a long time, and I thought I should fix that. Hey, Karen and Susan, appreciate you guys joining me today. So I have the whole bundle. We have the stamp set. It is a cling set, but that's okay. We're going to make that work for us. I know some of you don't love them, but they do make lovely images. So there you go. And of course it has the die set. You can cut out this stamp tree, and you can also make a die cut tree with a trunk and a tree top that can go like that on there, and then some little leaves and whatnot. And of course I've also used the stylish shapes. I say stylish of course because like I use it on every card, it feels like. So this is what I think would probably be best called a double gatefold card. When it's folded up like this, it fits right nice into a medium envelope. And then when you open it up, it's got plenty of space on the inside to write you a little message. And I have used the gorgeous Timeless Plaid DSP. Hey everybody, appreciate you guys coming. Thank you so much for spending part of your week with me. I do appreciate it. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I am going to change this one up the tiniest bit. When I was first making this, I really struggled between making the card base Mossy Meadow or Calypso Coral. And I like how the Calypso Coral looks, but I wanted to see how the Mossy Meadow works. So it's the exact same card. The only difference is that my card base is going to be Mossy Meadow instead of Calypso Coral. And then we can decide at the end which one we collectively like better. Okay, so this card base is 5.5 by 11. And you're going to use your trimmer and you're going to do 4 score lines. 4 score and 7 years. No, totally different. Okay, so on the first side, you're going to score at 2 inches and 3 3/4 inches. Now, then you're going to pull your cardstock out and turn it around 180 degrees and do the same from the other end. Possibly I will do the math to tell you the distances all the way across without pulling it out and put that in the blog. Also possibly not. So, you know, make this card and then measure it, and then you'll know what the side, go right across measurements are. Okay, so I've already done 2. Now I'm going to do 2 3/4, and that is it for our trimmer. The 2 inside, so the 3 3/4 line ones are both going to be folded in. So one might call that, hey Kathy, one might call that a valley, depending on how you're looking at it. And so we'll fold the other one in as well. Give it a good score or burnish, I guess that would be. And then the other 2, which are the 2-inch scores, are going to go the opposite direction. So out or mountain, however you want to look at that. I'll give you the top view here in just a second and you'll see how it looks. Okay, so here you have mountain, valley, valley, mountain, or mountain, valley, valley, mountain. It's a palindrome. It's the same either way you go. All right, so now all we're going to do is just adhere some DSP, and I picked a couple of the patterns from Timeless Plaid. There were a few that I could have chosen, but I really do love this soft plaid with the Calypso Coral. So let's go ahead and adhere these. And the pieces look almost the same, but these outside gates are 1 7/8 inches wide, and the inside gates, these are the inside gates, are 1 5/8 inches wide. Everything is 5 3/8. I spent about a half a nano moment struggling with the thought of adding mats, and then I thought, there's a lot of cardstock all piled up on top of itself when it's folded up, so I decided not to do that. Aren't you so glad? So it'll only take 1 2-ounce stamp instead of 2. Now that we have the higher postage rates, I would love to promise you that I am going to make much thinner, lighter cards going forward, but that would be an unfair thing for me to promise because I can't keep that promise. Just can't. Nope, just can't. I know, Nancy, this is one of my very, very favorite papers ever. I really love it. The hardest part about using it is picking which ones to use because they're all so pretty. All right, so that is done, and I mean that's like almost it. That's about all we're doing for this. Now I'm going to set this aside, and it can wait until we're ready for it again. I will close this up. Now, on a piece of basic white that I have carefully marked stamping so that I don't mistake it for my inside, I am going to stamp and then cut out the large tree. Now, I don't want my tree to all be Mossy Meadow or all be pecan pie. So what I did is I'm doing what's called the marker to rubber technique for coloring. And I'm going to take my Mossy Meadow Stampin' Right marker. This does not work with blends, I can assure you. I mean, you are certainly welcome to try it, but it's just really not going to do the job. And I am going to color. I'm kind of trying to stay away from where I know there are branches going up into the tree. If it gets a little bit overdone, that's okay. It's all right. Okay, so I'm coloring all of these leaves. Use the brush end. The other side is just not going to give you the coverage that you want. Okay, so that's all good and covered. And then I'm going to also do that with at the bottom here, because there's like grass and stuff at the bottom. So I'm going to cover that up with the Mossy Meadow. And then I'm going to take my pecan pie, nope, other side, pecan pie marker, and I'm going to color up into the tree and then color the branches that I can still see open and the trunk. Okay. Get that all done up. Okay, and then the next thing, and this is going to be called huffing. I'm going to say huff on your card. I'm not sure I'm going to like that because I think I pulled some of that green down. Just pick a little bit of that up. See what I did there is I got a little green down on my trunk. And like, it's not the end of the world, but it's better if it isn't like that. Okay. Now, when I tell you to huff, you know how if you're trying to draw a little smiley face on a window, you huff on the window and make it fog up? That's what you're doing here, all right? That's going to reactivate that ink and give you an image, hopefully good. Be generous with your huffing. Okay. This method works the best with the cling stamps. Okay, you can try it with the photopolymer stamps. It's just a little bit harder to get good coverage. Okay, so you can certainly try it. I would try it the first time on a piece of scrap paper and just see if you like it. So these are called cling stamps. The red rubber are called cling stamps. And the clear ones that you can see through are called photopolymer. And those are the two kinds that we have. Okay, now I'm just kind of looking to see if there's any places that I want to give a little bit of extra color to. And I don't really think I see many. I'll just add a little bit. If you're happy with how it looks, you don't have to do any. I'm just adding a little bit of extra. Why am I really doing that? Let's be honest. Because I have a couple of places here that are dark. So I'm trying to make it look like that wasn't an error. So I'm just going to add a little bit more coloring down in here. And that's okay. It's really going to just give some texture, right? Okay. And I am pretty happy with my trunk and my branch. So what I'm going to do now is go off screen, and I am going to do this. I'm going to just take this die and I'm going to put it around it and cut it out. That is it. Okay, be hanging on. Be hanging on, please. Hold one. Hold one. Mary will be back shortly. All right. I'm getting a sticky note so I can hold my die in place. All right. Here we go. Oh, I just flung 17 things across the way. All right, and there is our tree. I'll put my die away before I make a mistake and lose it. Now, before you came, I used the largest of my stylish shaped circles, that's a square. You know how I can tell? Because it's got 4 equal distant sides. It's a square. And I cut out a piece of basic white cardstock, and on that, near the bottom, I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday. Yes, you really do not want to use the alcohol markers. It won't work very well or at all, and it's not really great for probably for your rubber stamps. Okay, so we're going to stamp Happy Birthday right at the bottom, and I'm going to stamp it once here just to make sure I'm getting a nice square image. I am. And then I'm going to come right at the bottom. Everybody hold your breath, think square thoughts. I feel like that's pretty square. I can take that. I can take that. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put some ribbon on here. And it's going to be, let's say about that long. So I will cut the length. But I'm going to kind of put it together with it sort of in place on my card front, because once you have this closed, this square is going to be right here like so. And your tree is going to be right about there. So I want my ribbon to not go too far past the end of this square, just because I don't want it to come off of the card front, really. Okay, so we're gonna go about like that right there. Okay, so I've got the size of my little bow thingy, my bow doohickey, and I will just kind of make it into a little bow. This is like a figure 8 bow. It's not really a figure 8, and it's not really a bow. It's neither a figure 8 nor a bow, but it sort of looks like a bow when you get it covered up. Okay. And we're going to put it on like that. So I'm going to put my Stampin' Seal Plus across like so. And then we will place this on like so. And get that moved around so it gets a little bit of Stampin' Seal on it. All right, and then let's see how that looks. I can take that. I think that's okay. I like it. It looks a little different than my sample, but I kind of like it. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my little tree on here. I'm going to do that with some dimensionales. And I'm just going to put the dimensionals on my little square. For some reason right then I got the I'm a Little Teapot song in my head. Why did I get an I'm a Little Teapot? That doesn't even make sense. That is just crazy to have I'm a Little Teapot in my head. Weird, weird. I had to go to the doctor this morning because I needed a referral for a doctor's appointment that I went to without a referral. And when I called to get the referral, they're like, oh, we haven't seen you for a year. You have to come in. And I said, so is this like a physical? No, just an office visit. And I said, well, could I do it by Zoom? Because I, have a life. Oh, no, it's been more than a year. You have to come in. So no kidding. I went in. I was in with the doctor for approximately 6 minutes. She did listen to my lungs, and they took my blood pressure and everything. So I feel like I got my money's worth there. But I was like, really? Okay, we have established I am still alive. I am not attempting to defraud the insurance company. But I was like, man, that was a little bit of time out of my day that I had not quite planned on. Okay, what I was doing there was just sticking some dimensionals under. And now I have my piece all ready to go. So to adhere it to our card front, you know what? Before we do that, let's do the inside. That'll be a little easier. For the inside, I just did one little image, and it's just this little leaf guy. And technically, I suppose one could, if one wanted to, make it all green, and you could just then ink it with your Mossy Meadow pad. But I decided to go ahead and just make my little twiggies brown, because I could. So I'm just going to color the leaves with the Mossy Meadow marker. And then, oh, I would have had to do that. Yes. I didn't do the motions. That is a good, at least I didn't do that. Okay, so then I'm just going to color what looks like leaves or like twigs to me with the pecan pie. Once again, I'm going to make my mirror, my cloud on my fog on a window. And we're going to just stamp that down in this corner. And there we go. And I'm going to do that one more time on my envelope flap, but I will do that once we're done. Okay. Hey, Joan, appreciate you coming. Let's get that out the way. Yes, I could use the Stampin' Seal, but you know me. I'm going to use this liquid glue because I want y'all to be liquid glue people like me. You don't have to be. I mean, I'm still going to like you and everything. But I think you're missing out if you're not understanding the joys of the green glue. All right, we're just going to put that in, and that's it. I'm not putting a sentiment on or anything. So to put this together, this is just going to center on the card front, okay? The only trick here is do not put any glue over here. Only put glue over here. So I'm just going to put some like so. This is where liquid glue really shines because you don't need a lot of it. And when you stick it on, you've got a little time to move things around. And then when you press it, it squishes. Okay, that's part of why you don't want to put it too much because it squishes. But by letting it squish, you can get a good, it smears out underneath there and gets in the little nooks and the crannies. And there you have your card. We will get a little bit of bling. I know, Joe. I don't like posting with really almost anything because I type too fast and then it tries to fix it for me and then it's a whole thing. I've got some of the Mossy Meadow dots from the Muted Palette dots, one of my favorites. And I'm just going to put a few of these. I think I'll go a little here. Put a few of these over here. And there's our card. All done. Now, I mean, I suppose if you're a really prolific writer, you could put a back on here, but I think this is fine for me. So let me go ahead and fix my envelope and we'll be done ski. Really quick today, I'm going to once again color my little leaf with my Mossy Meadow Stampin' Right marker. So that was kind of the thing you learned today was how to huff on clear stamps so that you can color with multiple colors on one stamp. All right, and there's our pecan pie. Okay, doke. And it'll behoove you to do a few extra breaths. It does help to reactivate that ink much better if you give it a good, you know, if you're feeling a little bit lightheaded when you're done, you're probably good. I'm just kidding. Don't pass out. Don't pass out. Hey, Krishnamra, not too late. Oh, thank you, Jean. I appreciate that. All righty. And here we go. One more little bit of liquid glue. This is a super easy fun fold. I mean, seriously, it's practically not even a fun fold. It's just like a few extra little doohickeys. But you know that, and I know that, but your recipient is going to be like, wow, this is so cool. especially after they've seen your beautiful flap and your pretty little leaf on the front. They're going to be so excited to rip this open and go for it. Thank you, Marva. These are some of my favorite colors too. I do Calypso Coral and the Mossy Meadow colors go together just perfectly. That was why I wanted to try this one with the Mossy Meadows card base. Okay, so here we go. We're going to look, I'm going to compare the two right now. Let me clear this off. Okay, so here we have version 2 in Mossy Meadow and version 1 in Calypso Coral. What do you guys think? What's your favorite? Which one do you prefer? I know which one I like better. Which one do you like better? Go ahead, I'll let you vote because we're running a little short today. We've got plenty of time. So which one do you like better? Mossy Meadow or Calypso Coral? Yeah. Mossy Meadow. Yeah. I know. You guys are right there with me. You are my Oh, we have a Calypso Coral. Mossy Meadow Coral. Okay. It's more towards mossy, but coral is coming up. Gonna lose it only by a nose. All right. Well, whichever one is your favorite, I urge you to make this card. I hope you will. And I appreciate you spending part of your week with me. I hope you'll come back Saturday. I do not know what we're going to make. I'm straight up on that, but I hope you'll like it. Have a good week, guys. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.